team, kind of the middle of this thing, week and a half before the opener. Where are you at? Are you where you'd like to be at this point in camp?
Yeah, I mean, from the standpoint of are we executing everything we need to? No, but do we have the proper mindset? Yes. And so, we keep coming in, finding one or two things that we can emphasize that day and get better at, and we just got to continue to do that. But it's a healthy balance of like, we should be happy where we're at, but we should not be happy where we're at. And I think that's important to kind of stay that way.
You talked about having a bunch of different starting lineups this year potentially. What's that adjustment going to be like for guys who traditionally haven't come off the bench throughout their careers as that comes through that?
I thought that's something we got to last year. I thought that was a huge strength of ours, was our ability to plug guys in. And I think I said it before, where we won 10 games last year because our second, third, whatever unit we had, our non-original starters, were able to step in and keep the intensity and the execution where it was. And so I think that's the teaching point is, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is we have to play hard and we have to execute.
What's that balance like, from your perspective? Seeing guys who might be more comfortable starting, who might not play as well off the bench, and just kind of gauge that? Because it does seem like these guys generally are comfortable playing either way. Like, from your perspective, how do you weigh, like, who's better and what's
I would ask myself, it's a 48-minute game. If we get so worked up about the first 5 minutes of the game, what are we going to do the other 43 minutes?
What have you seen from Peyton in his ability to impact the game with more than just his shooting?
He executed a perfect end of quarter situation on both offense and defense, and his ability to see how he can make his teammates better, and the mindset and the intensity that he brings. And so he's just developing as a player every day. And like I said before, like most people in his position don't make it to the next contract, don't make it to where he's at now. And so it just says a lot about who he is.
Do you have a sense that he's growing in terms of orchestrating the pick and roll?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
In making his teammates better, he said he feels he can talk to anyone now on the bench and just help lift them up. What are you seeing specifically from that? Maybe what those conversations look like?
Most important thing is he asks questions. So he wants to understand. And so he's asking me, he's asking the assistants, he's asking teammates questions, and that gives him the ability to communicate with his teammates. And so he's doing a great job of like recognizing situational basketball on both ends of the floor and how we can be better at it.
Joe, Kristaps plays in the drop a lot. After the first Philly game, he talked about having to get used to having Derek White and Drew Work trailing from behind and getting contests off that way. What's that dynamic been like, having them get used to that sort of thing on the defensive end?
Yeah, it's a trust factor, right? Like bigs usually help up because they don't trust that the big is going to chase and challenge, or he's not going to recover, or he's not going to be physical. Our guards, top to bottom, do a great job of taking pride in pick and roll defense, and they chase and challenge. They fight to score the ball, and they're physical. And so you can't help up as much, and you don't have to put yourself in a difficult situation to where it puts us in a 2-on-1 on the weak side. So that's just a trust factor that we have to build as a team in our pick and roll defense.
When you pulled Ben the other night, he came back in and he was like sprinting the screens.
That's toughness.
Yeah. So like, what do you think when you do something like that? What message does that send to the rest of the team? You're focusing on one guy, but it's an example you're setting for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like that it's talk about being used as an example. I think the first teaching point is I believe in you as a player, so I'm going to coach you hard. And then the second teaching point is he was mentally tough and took the coaching and like executed and responded like really, really well. And I think that's an important trait on young guys who are talented that have a chance to make it in this league is can you be coached and can you respond in a positive way, which he did. And then it just sets a tone for our team of like those things are super important and we have to do those. And it doesn't matter who it is, like we have to make tough plays all the time. And so credit to him for continuing to get better. And like I told him multiple times, I only did that because I really think he could be a good player.
Your thoughts been on Lamar's camp?
Physical, makes us work, smart. Like we went to a couple things in the Philly game where he had the ability to kind of execute coverages defensively. We went to a couple sets that we're not used to running that he handled well, and so he competes at a high level, and he's really smart learning, communicating the game.